Welcome, 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 collectives. My name is Ora-gen, and this is the Ora-gen Channel. I want to welcome you back no matter what time of day it is or what day you found this reading. I am super grateful that you are here. Guys, 2:33 on the clock on this most excellent Saturday afternoon. Today's date is Saturday, May 3rd of 2025. So definitely, if you are seeing those numbers in any form in your energy or around you, please do check the meaning in the gematria and the angel number meanings in association with today's message. I hope everybody's doing good this Saturday. I hope you're getting a chance to rest. Something in the energy about needing a rest. Maybe you're feeling a little lazy, want to kind of hang out around the bed. And you know what? If you don't have anything really pressing that you need to do, it might be a good idea to just listen to your body and just take a moment for yourself this Saturday. Or maybe even just take a little nap or something like that that feels good and restful to your body. Mind, body, spirit, guys. Okay, big shout out to the subscribers. Definitely, if you are new to the Ora-gen Channel, please do like, share, subscribe, hit the all button so that you get all of the notifications as videos are released. I am definitely picking up on and channeling in information for various members of the collectives, along with group collective messages. So you are very much likely to find energies here coming up in the messages associated with energies that you are dealing with. If you are liking, subscribing, sharing, taking any kind of action that helps me to tap in to messages that are important to you. So guys, with that being said, I want to jump into the download for today, okay? So this one is, wow. This one actually came in today, guys. So once again, if this message, you are hearing it or seeing it on a different day than when the message was recorded, that's okay. If you were drawn to this message and really felt compelled to really listen and to take some things away from it, feel free to do that. These are timeless messages for the collectives. So whatever is here for you is here for you. And definitely take the energy as it resonates. So today, guys, someone's ex enjoys being an astral gamer. And when I use this term, it is because I actually heard that term come in with a download. Someone's ex enjoys being an astral gamer. OMG. So, guys, someone's ex has been utilizing some form of astral connection or what we might call astral travel, but basically some kind of connection or cord in the astral that is low vibrational energy work. And they're utilizing this to appear in the dreams of a member of the collective or members of the collectives. Take the energy as it resonates. But this energy is not showing up and showing their face and who they are. For those of you who resonate with today's energy, you may not even know who this is because they are cloaking their appearance or their energy. So you might have had a dream or a download where there's an energy that's really just trying to get all over you, like they're trying to wear you like clothes. That's what I really saw through the viewer. Like somebody really trying to be on top of someone and get in their space physically. And the viewer was really resistant to this once they figured out what was going on. It was like they were just in a space, just moving along, doing what they naturally would do. And then all of a sudden, this energy was there and it was just all over them. Like they had put them on like a garment. And when the viewer finally realized what was happening, they started pushing the energy off of them like, ew, no, get off me. And the face of this cloaked energy or being started to really come closer to the face of the viewer. And it's like the viewer, through really focusing in on the face, was able to remove away the shadow and the illusion and the cloaking and be able to actually see what was underneath. So the first thing that became visible was the eyes. The eyes were very telling. So this might be someone who is a past person, that there was something very distinct about their eyes, because that seems to be the area of the face where the cloaking fell off first, because you were really focusing there, almost like, if I can see the eyes, I'll know who this is, because you knew they were cloaking, but you just didn't know who it was. And so as the eyes became revealed, there was like a change or a shift in the energy. It's like this energy became more excited the more you were able to see who they were, which almost seems opposite of the purpose of cloaking. But something about your ability to be able to strip away that cloaking and then have more of a response to this energy actually was more of a turn on than a turn off. So at this point, the viewer really started pushing the energy off of them because they started to recognize who they were. And evidently, this was some sort of X or an energy that you dealt with in the past that you are not presently dealing with. And this energy does not have the ability to physically approach you, or does not want to physically approach you. For some reason, they have been focusing their connection work through the astral or through the etheric. So I did pick up through that excitement on this energy's face, and this was a masculine energy. And I'll even go a step further and say that what I saw was a male, or someone who identifies as a male. Okay. But I could see that they thought it was kind of funny what they were doing. Like it was almost humorous or comical for them to be cloaking and constantly kind of attaching some sort of low vibrational energy to collectives to create issues for them, typically around a time period where someone might be asleep or in a dream state or something like that. You might be someone who's more of a lucid dreamer. So someone who's able to kind of get involved with the environment while you're in a dream-like state. But I did pick up that even though this energy was doing this, at some point it no longer worked. So it wasn't funny anymore. And something shifted about the energy when you were able to actually push this energy off of you. So this also speaks to me about someone in the collectives who has grown in their gifts and abilities, someone who is evolving, transforming, someone who's ascending, someone who's awakening further, someone who's having maybe some sort of kundalini or some sort of strong awakening through their chakral system that is allowing them to utilize their gifts to remove or push off energies that in the past were able to very easily connect with you. I also want to make a note here with today's download that some strong messaging came through yesterday about some collectives that will be relocating to move into a better position to work on their goals and away from low vibrational energies that are wanting to come near them physically, since they can no longer target them without being seen. So basically, because some of these energies were able to connect with you and evidently get most of what they wanted energetically from you from doing this form of connection. And we're going to get into this in a second as we pull some cards here. But because that is no longer a possibility, these energies are wanting to physically or geographically like come near you physically. And once again, take the energy as it resonates. If you are feeling paranoid, you're unaware of anything like this happening, and the thought of this is causing you to feel scared, more than likely, this is not your message. This would be a message for someone who understands there are some past energies that have been trying to interact with them in this way. And you might even have a feeling that just keeps coming up in the back of your mind that there's somebody looking for you. That's coming through really strong in the energy. So some collectives are actually going to be relocating and or moving because the universe, your guides, your spirit team is moving you out of a position where these energies are easily able to approach or able to like sneak approach. Basically, you're being moved into a space that will be better for you to work on your goals. So I did put a note in here that these energies who are awakened are kicking the butts of these types of energies in the astral. And basically, by that, I mean collectives who have grown in their ability to be able to cut these cords and to clear these energies out. This is why these energies are so frustrated. I looked at another video of Shavi Zain today where she was speaking about this very topic. You know, in some cases, celebrity type energies that were able to basically use an energy vampire type process to utilize others' energies to really promote themselves, to really put themselves to the forefront. And how, in a lot of cases, we're seeing more celebrities now due to the crash out of Hollywood doing more like, you know, Netflix movies and ads for fast food restaurants, which is completely toxic, just in my opinion, because they know that food is not good for people. It shows you they'll sell out for anything. But that's because they just don't want to see an end to their ability to be able to have resources in abundance off of utilizing these old processes that they would use for popularity or to make money through the industry. And so now, due to the shift in things, like more people probably watch YouTube and other types of social media than they do TV or going to the movies or, you know, Comcast in or Netflix, Nextfinity, I don't know, whatever that's called. More people probably look at social media now. You're actually seeing more of these type of energies on social media, doing videos and trying to normalize themselves, air quotes. I don't know who's setting that standard, but trying to normalize themselves to make themselves appear more like the populace, once again, to gain control of the narrative and to be able to continue to siphon off the energy of the populace so that they can keep their levels of abundance and fame. But people are awakening to energies that are pushy and aggressive with pushing in on others who naturally have gifts and abilities and utilizing their energy as a resource for their abundance. And I think something really important that Chave brought out in her video is that a lot of these energies, these so-called celebrity energies, because I am picking up that this particular energy might be somebody associated with like some aspect of the industry. Maybe they're not a celeb, but maybe they have goals of getting into the industry and really need to find resources to pull energy. So they might be somebody in the music industry. Maybe you have an ex that is an aspiring writer or somebody who is some sort of vocalist of some kind, like somebody who raps or sings. But a lot of these energies that are celebrities have zero talent or very close to zero talent. They are not energies that would naturally draw people's attention. It's like they've created a vortex of energy around them, confirmation, and utilize that vortex to stir energies up around them, to get people feeling a certain way when they see them. Almost like they're a product. When you see this product, when you see this brand pop up in front of you, right? You start to feel something emotionally. Never mind what they're actually able to do. Never mind what their actual level of ability or talent is. You just start to feel something emotionally. So it's like they're taking, energy from the populace and whipping up a vortex of emotion around themselves to keep their popularity and fame. Now, what happens when people cut those cords or start to see these energies for what they really are, which is in a lot of cases talentless hacks? The collectives have more talent, natural ability, and gifts in their pinky finger than these energies have in their entire being. I'm talking mind, body, soul. Because in a lot of cases, they're soulless. They have stepped away from that aspect of themselves for the purposes of garnering fame, fortune, and success. However, collective still has their gifts and abilities, and they didn't do that. They didn't step away from their higher self to obtain that. It was something they were naturally incarnating with. So these energies are jealous of energies that didn't have to do all that and also have natural gifts and abilities. And then when we factor in a shift in our timeline where people are awakening and just by virtue of that, not consenting to handing over their energies or contracts, agreements with systemic cords that these types of energies and entities can link to, what does that equal? Well, it means that the power is returning to its rightful source. And this is exactly what Chavez brought out. And that's why I really enjoyed that reading. If you haven't seen it, please get over there and take a look at it. But the point of it all is that once that starts to happen, now you have an entire group of individuals who there is a transference of universal wealth and abundance. So we're not just talking about money and things. That just comes with it. We're talking about abundance, meaning their rightful position to be able to use their gifts and abilities without being put in a position where they're being blocked from being seen, heard, understood, growing in those gifts and abilities. A bunch of problems and issues and troubles being heaped on them so that they can't advance in their spiritual journey. All of that stuff being moved out of the way. That's like energies like this worst nightmare. And so when you think about something like that from that vantage point, and that might be a new way of looking at it, guys. And if it is, that's okay. Do your research. Don't take anyone's word for it. Go down that rabbit hole yourself and see what you learn if you look into it from an energy-based perspective. So when we start to look at things from that angle, we could see why energies would want to try to latch on to people etherically with energy cords or in the astral or pop up in their dream state and find ways to connect with them because there's a serious need for energy. There's like an energy conservancy going on here for these so-called celebrity energies. They don't have as much. They have to conserve because more people are awakening to these contracts and agreements. This is real deal. And we can look and see evidence of this when we see that these celebrities are doing videos on social media, doing commercials, doing, movies on Netflix, whatever it is. They're not on the big screen as much. It hasn't been the same since COVID, It has not been the same since that time period. The movie industry has shifted And that's because the energy has shifted since that time period. So I want to jump into these cards from the pre-poll. Guys, I had the roll deck, okay? So this talks about the role of some of these energies here. And I asked Spirit about the role of some of these energies, in particular in association with this X that was popping up in someone's dream state or whatever in the astral and got decloaked. So based on what I'm seeing here, we had the time traveler card, the puppet, the hermit, and the apothecary in reverse. So I'm seeing here that this is somebody who is proficient at doing some sort of connection work in the etheric or the astral. And that's why we have the time traveler in the upright. But with the puppet card, we can see that somebody, because it's in the upright, somebody was making an attempt to manipulate something, okay, or to pull some strings. And the hermit card that came up right after this talks about being in practice. So somebody was regularly practicing this manipulation. And then, of course, right after it, apothecary in reverse. This has to do with potions, herbs, elixir, and alchemy. So basically, some sort of low vibrational spell work or energy work that somebody was practicing for the purpose of manipulating. And this is an energy that's pretty proficient at this because, as soon as I was able to see, through the position of the viewer, what was going on, I could see the viewer really had to really push to get this energy off of them. It was very clingy. So this might be someone that you had energetic cords with in the past, or there might still be some cords there. So you may want to focus on maybe like a cord cutting or some sort of cleaning and clearing energy work in association with this particular energy because it's quite potent. And I don't think it's because this energy is just so strong overall. I think it has to do with the connection to you, collectives. So then after that, we had the Saint card in reverse, the Autocrat card in the upright, the Founder in the upright, and the Ally in reverse, guys. So obviously with the Saint card in reverse, this talks about holiness, virtue, devotion, miracles. This is an upside down energy. That's what we're getting clarification on. This is an energy definitely operating in more of a south node style. This could be somebody that could have chosen to operate in a north node and be more like one of the members of the collectives. And now keep this in mind, there's different kinds of collectives. There's north node collectives, there's somewhere in between collectives, and then there's south node. This is someone who could have been like a north node collectives, but they chose to use their gifts and abilities in a certain way that is very south node. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because I could see clearly from the download, this energy has natural abilities. This is not an energy that doesn't have abilities. This has to do with the way they're choosing to use their gifts and abilities. So basically, they're playing for a different team than you are, collectives. Okay. Then we had the Autocrat energy in the upright. This is somebody who's oppressive or like a tyrant. Like a reversed King of Swords kind of energy. Somebody who's just doing too much in the energy, likes to see things done their way. And if they aren't, they have a whole fit about it or get really mean or abusive. That's what I'm really picking up here. And then with the Founder card, of course, this is in the upright and we have the shadowed out face. So this is more confirmation of this energy cloaking, okay, and not allowing you in the past when this energy would connect with you, you couldn't see who it was. Now you're able to tear that mask of shadow down and see the eyes of this energy. But this is somebody who feels like they're an originator, a pioneer, somebody who's groundbreaking. They might be an entrepreneur or trying to start their own business, or have their own business. But really, what I got from this card is this is an energy that feels kind of puffed up in themselves, their abilities, and feels like they're groundbreaking, they're unique, they're an originator. So they really feel like they're owed something. That's what I really picked up here. And then, of course, the ally card in reverse. Just a reminder that this was not an ally. It never was. You might have even thought in the past, if this is a person that you know personally, because for some of you, you don't know this energy. But for those of you who are this is an actual ex, this might have been a person that you felt was supportive, right? Somebody that you felt like was mutually supportive, like cared about what you cared about. But Spirit is saying that this energy actually was always very much kind of in a more selfish narrative inside of their own mind. Maybe they didn't express that verbally to you, but you eventually saw by their actions where they really stood. And of course, presently is not a supporter. They're not an ally due to the things that they're doing. So then I broke out the hand-drawn deck, and I got the number 547. So that might be an area code for you. Maybe a person's phone number, first, middle, or last segment of somebody's phone number. This could also be something having to do with the angel number meaning. Definitely look this number up in the gematria as well. But after that, I did get something here about animosity and jealousy. So someone wanted to pretend like, because it's in reverse, somebody was cloaking the fact that they were jealous of you or had animosity about your gifts and abilities. We had the number 9 come out here. So somebody might have the life path 9. Somebody could also be born during the month of September. Someone could be a Virgo. Take the energy as it resonates. Somebody with the first, middle, last initial R, or maybe the letter R has something to do with the number 547, like an area code or a city, a town, a province, a township, a county. Then, once again, jealous of your gifts in the upright. So even though we had the animosity and jealousy card reversed, where they were trying to pretend like they were not jealous of you, eventually this came out. For those of you who understand who this energy is, this part of the message more than likely will resonate, that you began to notice that someone was jealous of your gifts and started to behave differently towards you. And then we have missing your energy. So more confirmation that this energy was connecting to you because they were getting something out of that process. So when we think about the title of this download, someone feeling like they're a, how did we word that? An astral gamer, okay? So they felt like this was a game. This was entertaining, that they were able to do this to you. But per usual, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. So eventually, when you were able to turn the tables and see what was happening with this energy and cut them off, they're missing your energy because they were getting something from it. The number 8 is on the table. So we have 9 and 8. So somebody with the first, middle, or last initial R from potentially area code 547 was born in 1998, potentially. Okay. Or this could be, maybe the 8th day of the month. Whatever you feel this relates to, I'm just kind of pulling out some energy here to see whose message this might be. Someone is argumentative and you're being encouraged to avoid this energy at all costs. So if this energy does try to come towards you because they're not able to get your energy, for those of you who know this energy, and potentially for those of you who don't, someone might try to start an argument with you to try to get some energy out of you. Because when you cut that cord or cut whatever you cut, they are no longer able to, yes, confirmation, Wow, guys, I cannot make it up. Guess what notification just flew up on my device? The Demon Slayer anime. You guys slayed this demon. They are mad. So they might try to start an argument with you for the purposes of extracting energy. So you're being encouraged to avoid this energy at all costs. All right, we have the letter Z on the table. First, middle, last, initial. Or this could have to do with a person, place, a thing, or maybe a geographic location. We also have two letters out here now. We have R and Z, so that could be a first, middle, last, initial for someone's name. We have the major decisions card in reverse. And I believe that is because you already know exactly what's going on with this energy. If they were to approach you, which we'll get to that in a second, if they were, you would run the opposite direction because you know exactly what's up with this energy. There's a reason why you got away from them. We have the good karma, bad karma card. So definitely there's some polarity here. This energy is not having a good time. You, however, have been working on yourself, growing exponentially. This energy wants to tap into your karma or flip the tables here. Basically, kind of put themselves in the space that you're in and give you the space that they are in. And then, of course, we have the angry face. Somebody is pissed because they're not able to do this. Spirit says, stop. These energies are not going to be able to do this any longer because of the ways that you have grown energetically. We have the anger card, just confirming the anger face that came up. We have the illness, not well card. And I think this is really coming up in relation to somebody's mental health potentially. Once again, not giving a formal diagnosis, definitely, but just what's coming up in the energy here in association with the reading. It could be that this potential energy is dealing with just some physical health issues, but I really do pick up here there's some mental or emotional illness that causes them to not be able to see things clearly or to behave in a manner that is like in alignment with, good mental health and wellness. This person is not well. You might even notice that if you've seen them. Are you sure? Spirit is asking you a question because the next card out is new love interest. It's in reverse. So there could be something here about this energy wanting to return in a physical sense because they are no longer able to connect with you energetically and get what they need that way. So Spirit is saying you should definitely ask yourself a question. If you have a past relationship that was very toxic, returning to you at this time out of the blue, especially if you've been having dreams or downloads like these and you resonate with that part of the message, and then out of the blue, a past person that had strong cords into you, took you a while to kind of break that off, pops back up, love bombing. That's why the new love interest is in reverse. It could also be that this energy does not want you to have a new love interest. So they may be trying to insinuate certain things through the astral about you moving on with your life, as you should. Guys, we're going to just pull a couple cards from the tarot. Wowzers. We had one just fly out there. We're going to take it. Queen of Swords in reverse, guys. Somebody is overly emotional and bitchy. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, something here about emotional state. It's not good. Somebody's not doing well emotionally. We have water and air, water sign and air sign energy on the table. Take the energy as it resonates. Okay, thank you, Spirit. We have the Fool. Somebody's overly emotional about your new beginnings. It's in the upright. You guys have walked through this challenge almost in an energy of innocence. Like, I don't want to say naivety, but more like la li la li la, while this energy is off to the side, like, I've got to make this work. You're just kind of strolling through this due to the support from your team that has been assisting you, universal spirit team, however you look at it. You guys have just been moving through this challenge, definitely dealing with challenges, but moving through them. This energy has not been able to stop or block that. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, we have the Two of Wands upright, fire sign and Aries on the table. Something here about making plans, making decisions. I mentioned that a lot of the collectives would be relocating who are associated with this message today, to be moved into positions where it's easier for you to focus on your goals without distraction, without interruption, without these energies trying to come give you these empty, fishy cup offerings. Okay. And then, of course, right after that, right after I said that, we had the Ace of Cups in reverse. More water on the table, guys. Somebody's definitely a water sign here, but somebody's dealing with like loss of their emotions, loss of control of their emotions. I mentioned that there's something here about mental health and wellness with this energy, and their creativity is blocked. Something about tapping into you assisted them to fill their cup. This cup is in reverse. Everything that was in it is on the ground or returned back to you as it should, guys. But it certainly is not in their cup any longer. So that might be why they're trying to connect at this time. We have the Eight of Swords upright, air sign energy, and Gemini. There's a lot of negative thoughts here. Somebody's doing like some form of self-imposed restriction rather than, allowing themselves to move through this or to let it go, move on, air quotes. This energy is not doing that. They've actually done a lot to block themselves. But you're not in an energy where you're going to deal with this energy any longer. You've grown too much. So even if this energy has put themselves in a place of imprisonment, like they're into victim mentality and mindset. Collectives, this might be where you were, but you no longer are in that mindset. We have the Hermit card in the upright. Once again, soul searching, introspection, contemplation. You guys are seeking the truth. And you may have been spending a lot of time to yourself. This doesn't mean that you don't go out and do things or have friends, but you really value that time for your healing and your growth work. And there's something about doing that and getting into this space by yourself that's not like anything you could do with others around. And you recognize that and you utilize that as a tool for growth. Where maybe in the past, you didn't take as much time out to yourself. You understand the importance of that. Also, some of you may not be in relationships right now. You might be just to yourself and have friends and people that you do things with, but you are focused on your goals. More fire sign and air sign energy on the table. We have King of Swords in reverse. Did I not speak about this energy when I was talking about the autocrat? Okay, that that tyrant, oppressive energy. So we have that energy back on the table again. This is just more confirmation of what we were talking about earlier. I mean, this can speak to a quiet power within oneself, but it's in the reverse. And in association with the questions that we are asking of Spirit today, there's something here about manipulation and misuse of power, okay? And not being able to utilize that manipulation on collectives any longer. Let's get one final message to close out. Oops. Well, we got two. Guys, we have the Ace of Swords on the table here, speaking about mental clarity and breakthrough. So Spirit says this is all the truth. And what else is the truth? We have the Four of Wands on the table, fire sign, Aries energy again. Somebody's definitely a fire sign or an Aries here. You guys are going to be celebrating and in a state of joy. Some of you have new relationships, marriages coming. As I mentioned, some of you are relocating to new homes. You have new community and people, friends, associates, companions that you will be working with that are in alignment. You don't have to deal with energies like this. And Spirit says that's the truth because that came right out after the Ace of Swords. Spirit said, I don't know about the rest of this, but I can tell you what the truth of the matter is, which is that you all will be in a celebratory mode and you're taking back your energy. You're taking back your power. These energies can no longer use your power. Why? Because you do not give consent. Guys, I'm going to go on ahead and close the reading out there. Definitely, if you enjoyed today's message, even if this wasn't your message and you just enjoyed being along for the story, please do like, share, and subscribe. I'm definitely going to get with you guys more this weekend to release some more videos and some more messages for the collectives. Feel free to comment below if this resonated with you, or you can feel free to reach out to me at my email address in the description box and get your own personal reading. Guys, have an amazing Saturday or whatever day it is for you. My name is Ora-gen, and this is the Ora-gen Channel.